Jade is an ornamental rock. The term jade is applied to two different metamorphic rocks that are made up of different silicate minerals. Nephrite consists of the microcrystalline interlocking fibrous matrix of the calcium, magnesium iron-rich amphibolyte mineral series tremolite ferroactinolite. The middle member of this series with an intermediate composition is called actinolite. The higher the iron content, the greener the color. Jadeite is a sodium and aluminium-rich pyroxene. The gem form of the mineral is a microcrystalline interlocking crystal matrix. Etymology. The English word jade is derived from the Spanish term piedra duojada or loinstone, from its reputed efficacy in curing ailments of the loins and kidneys. Nephrite is derived from lapis nephriticus, the Latin version of the Spanish piedra duojada. Overview. Nephrite and jadeite. Nephrite and jadeite were used from prehistoric periods for hard stone carving. Jadeite has about the same hardness as quartz. Nephrite is slightly softer, but is tougher than jadeite. It was not until the 19th century that a French mineralogist, Alexis de Moore, determined that jade was in fact two different minerals. Among the earliest known jade artifacts excavated from prehistoric sites are simple ornaments with bead, button, and tubular shapes. Additionally, jade was used for adze heads, knives, and other weapons, which can be delicately shaped. As metalworking technologies became available, the beauty of jade made it valuable for ornaments and decorative objects. Jadeite measures between 6.0 and 7.0 Mohs hardness, and nephrite between 6.0 and 6.5, so it can be worked with quartz or garnet, sand, and polished with bamboo or even ground jade. Unusual varieties. Nephrite can be found in a creamy white form as well as in a variety of green colors, whereas jadeite shows more color variations, including blue, lavender mauve, pink, and emerald green colors. Of the two, jadeite is rarer, documented in fewer than 12 places worldwide. Translucent emerald green jadeite is the most prized variety, both historically and today. As Quetzal jade, bright green jadeite from Guatemala was treasured by Mesoamerican cultures, and as kingfisher jade, vivid green rocks from Burma became the preferred stone of post-1800 Chinese imperial scholars and rulers. Burma and Guatemala are the principal sources of modern gem jadeite. In the area of Mogarung in the Myitkyina district of Upper Burma, jadeite formed a layer in the dark green serpentine, and has been quarried and exported for well over 100 years. Canada provides the major share of modern lapidary nephrite. Nephrite jade was used mostly in pre-1800 China as well as in New Zealand, the Pacific coast and Atlantic coasts of North America, Neolithic Europe, and Southeast Asia. In addition to Mesoamerica, jadeite was used by Neolithic Japanese and European cultures. History. Prehistoric and historic China during Neolithic times. The key known sources of nephrite jade in China for utilitarian and ceremonial jade items were the now depleted deposits in the Ningxiao area in the Yangtze River Delta and in an area of the Liaoning province and Inner Mongolia. Dushan jade was being mined as early as 6000 BC. In the Yin ruins of the Shang dynasty in Anyang, Dushan jade ornaments were unearthed in the tomb of the Shang kings. Jade was used to create many utilitarian and ceremonial objects, from indoor decorative items to jade burial suits. Jade was considered the imperial gem. From the earliest Chinese dynasties to the present, the jade deposits most in use were not only those of Khotan in the western Chinese province of Xinjiang but other parts of China as well, such as Lanshan, Shaanxi. There, white and greenish nephrite jade is found in small quarries and as pebbles and boulders in the rivers flowing from the Kuan-Lun mountain range, eastward into the Taklamakan desert area. The river jade collection is concentrated in the Yarkand, the White Jades and Black Jade rivers. from the Kingdom of Khotan, on the southern leg of the Silk Road. Yearly tribute payments consisting of the most precious white jade were made to the Chinese imperial court and there worked into objets d'art by skilled artisans, as jade had a status value exceeding that of gold or silver. Jade became a favorite material for the crafting of Chinese scholars' objects, such as rests for calligraphy brushes, as well as the mouthpieces of some opium pipes, due to the belief that breathing through jade would bestow longevity upon smokers who used such a pipe. Jadeite, with its bright emerald green, pink, lavender, orange and brown colors, was imported from Burma to China only after about 1800. The vivid green variety became known as Phi-Kui or Kingfisher jade. It quickly became almost as popular as nephrite and a favorite of Qing dynasty's nouveau riche, while scholars still had strong attachment to nephrite, which they deemed to be the symbol of a nobleman. In the history of the art of the Chinese Empire, jade has had a special significance, comparable with that of gold and diamonds in the West. Jade was used for the finest objects and cult figures, and for grave furnishings for high-ranking members of the imperial family. Due to that significance and the rising middle class in China, today the finest jade, when found in nuggets of mutton fat, jade, so named for its marbled as white consistency, can fetch $3,000 an ounce, a tenfold increase from a decade ago. The Chinese character is used to denote the several types of stone known in English as jade, such as jadeite and nephrite. But because of the value added culturally to jades throughout Chinese history, the word has also come to refer more generally to precious or ornamental stones, and is very common in more symbolic usage, as in phrases like, to draw a jade, and the character has a similar range of meanings when appearing as a radical as parts of other characters. Prehistoric and historic India. The Jain temple of Kolanpak in the Nalgonda district, Andhra Pradesh, India, is home to a 5-foot-high sculpture of Mahavira that is carved entirely out of jade. It is the largest sculpture made from a single jade rock in the world. India is also noted for its craftsman tradition of using large amounts of green serpentine or false jade obtained primarily from Afghanistan in order to fashion jewelry and ornamental items such as sword hilts and dagger handles. Prehistoric and early historic Korea. The use of jade and other green stone was a long-term tradition in Korea. Jade is found in small numbers of pit houses and burials. The craft production of small comma-shaped and tubular jades, using materials such as jade, microcline, jasper, etc., in southern Korea originates from the Middle Moon pottery period. Comma-shaped jades are found on some of the gold crowns of Silla royalty and sumptuous elite burials of the Korean Three Kingdoms. After the state of Silla united the Korean peninsula in 668, the widespread popularization of death rituals related to Buddhism resulted in the decline of the use of jade in burials as prestige mortuary goods. Southeast Asia. Archaeologists have discovered two forms of jade that can be found across Taiwan through the Philippines, East Malaysia, central and southern Vietnam, and even extending to eastern Cambodia and peninsular Thailand. These two forms are called Linling open annular earring with three-pointed circumferential projections and the double animal-headed ear pendant. The forms are very similar in size and range from about 30 to 35 mm in diameter. Furthermore, radiocarbon dates have dated these forms in Southeast Asia from around 500 BC to 500 AD. The electron probe microanalysis shows that the raw material of these two types of artifacts was nephrite jade from Taiwan called Fengshan nephrite. Evidence recovered from multiple sites from Taiwan, the Philippines, and the mainland Southeast Asia suggests that Taiwan was the main source of the exchange of this kind jade. During the Iron Age of Southeast Asia, there may have been skilled craftsmen traveling from Taiwan to Southeast Asia along the coastline of the South China Sea, making jade ornaments for local inhabitants. Maori nephrite jade in New Zealand is known as punamu in the Maori language, and plays an important role in Maori culture. It is considered a taonga, or treasure, and therefore protected under the Treaty of Waitangi, and the exploitation of it is restricted and closely monitored. It is found only in the South Island of New Zealand, known as Te Wai Punamu in Maori, the land of greenstone water, or Te Wai Punamu, the place of greenstone. Tools, weapons and ornaments were made of it, in particular adzes, the mia, and the heitiki. These were believed to have their own mana, handed down as valuable heirlooms, and often given as gifts to seal important agreements. Nephrite jewelry of Maori design is widely popular with locals and tourists, although some of the jade used for these is now imported from British Columbia and elsewhere. Canada jade was first identified in Canada by Chinese settlers in 1886 in British Columbia. At this time jade was considered worthless as they were searching for gold. Jade was not commercialized in Canada until the 1970s. The mining business Loix James Limited, which was started by two Californians, began commercial mining of Canadian jade in 1972. Mining is done from large boulders that contain bountiful deposits of jade. Jade is exposed using diamond-tipped core drills in order to extract samples. This is done to ensure that the jade meets requirements. Hydraulic spreaders are then inserted into cleavage points in the rock so that the jade can be broken away. Once the boulders are removed and the jade is accessible, it is broken down into more manageable 10-ton pieces using water-cooled diamond saws. The jade is then loaded onto trucks and transported to the proper storage facilities. Mesoamerica jade was a rare and valued material in pre-Columbian Mesoamerica. The only source from which the various indigenous cultures, such as the Olmec and Maya, could obtain jade was located in the Motagua River Valley in Guatemala. Jade was largely an elite good, and was usually carved in various ways, whether serving as a medium upon which hieroglyphs were inscribed, or shaped into symbolic figurines. Generally, the material was highly symbolic, and it was often employed in the performance of ideological practices and rituals. Enhancement. Jade may be enhanced. Note that some merchants will refer to these as grades, but it is important to bear in mind that degree of enhancement is different from color and texture quality. In other words, type A jadeite is not enhanced but can have poor color and texture. There are three main methods of enhancement, sometimes referred to as the ABC treatment system. Type A jadeite has not been treated in any way except surface waxing. Type B treatment involves exposing a promising but stained piece of jadeite to chemical bleachers or acids and impregnating it with a clear polymer resin. This results in a significant improvement of transparency and color of the material. Currently, infrared spectroscopy is the most accurate test for the detection of polymer in jadeite. Type C jade has been artificially stained or dyed. The effects are somewhat uncontrollable and may result in a dull brown. In any case, translucency is usually lost. B+C jade is a combination of B and C. It has been both impregnated and artificially stained. Type D jade refers to a composite stone such as a doublet comprising a jade top with a plastic backing.